So my question is that at the ashram, I've seen that some people get trance, but some people
Uh,
don't get trance.
yeah,
And some people are very senior devotees and they have been coming for a very long time. But in spite of that, I think even you say that they have never
yeah.
got trance. So I want to know, is it a sort of a personality type that, the more emotional types are getting trance? Or, I mean, what is the difference? How does it work?
Okay, ma'am. See, this question was asked of Swamiji, right? I mean, you would have expected that, right? Straight away, this question was asked of Swamiji. As to Swamiji, how come some devotees get trance and some devotees don't? I mean, his answer to the point, very clear, very precise, and abrupt, was it is all in Swamiji's hands as to who gets trance and who doesn't. Okay? Now look at the implication of this. It means that only Swamiji decides whether a particular devotee should get trance or not, and when. Okay? Now, we are talking about Shivabalayogi, who never said anything like this regarding the other aspects of his mission, or his life, or his tapas. No, for everything, he would give the credit to his guru. He would say, I do only what my guru tells me to do, what my guru asks me to do. I never disobey my guru. Like this, to the extent that, if he is going to some place to conduct a program, he would say that because he has the approval of Lord Shiva to go there, he would go there. Otherwise, he would not go there.
మీ గురువు గారు ఎప్పుడు మామూలుగా మనలాంటి శరీరంలోనే ఉంటారా, లేకపోతే మీకు
శరీరం దర్శించుకుని వస్తాడు? మా గురువు ఫస్ట్ నన్ను ఎలాగైతే తపస్సులో కూర్చోబెట్టాడో అదే రూపంతో వచ్చి నాకు డైరెక్షన్ ఇస్తూ ఉంటాడు.
శరీరం దర్శనం
ఆయన ఎట్లాగైతే వచ్చాడో శరీరంతో ఆ విధంగానే వచ్చి ఇప్పుడు కూడా అదే మాదిరిగా దర్శనం ఇచ్చి నాకు డైరెక్షన్ ఇస్తూ ఉంటాడు.
He says the very first time, Swamiji, the very first time the way he appeared to him in the same physical form, in the same physical body, he appears to Swamiji, then he gives him the direction.
ఆయన డైరెక్షన్ ఎలా చెప్తుంటాడో అలా చేస్తూ ఉంటాను. ఇక్కడికి వెళ్ళొద్దంటే మానేస్తాను. చెప్పు.
He keeps following the directions given by his guru. He follows the directions very exactly, he says. If his guru tells him not to go to a certain place, he doesn't go there.
See, all the time he's in
డైరెక్షన్ తీసుకుని వస్తూ ఉంటాను.
He takes the direction from his guru and only then he goes anywhere.
నేను నన్ను తపస్సు చేయించింది ఆయన ప్రజల సేవ కోసము. అందువల్ల ఆయన ఎలా చెప్తే అట్లా చేసేదానికి నేను రెడీగా ఉన్నాను.
He says his guru has made him do the penance, the tapas, for doing service to the public, for doing service to the people. So whatever directions he gives, he follows them.
Now, such a Swamiji, who always used to put the onus on Lord Shiva, his guru, only for this aspect of his mission, only for trance, he would very clearly and bluntly say, it is all in Swamiji's hands as to who gets trance and who doesn't. Okay? So again, it seemed very interesting to me. So I started analyzing this, why does he say this? So basically, there is no list of criteria that he uses to decide who should get trance and who should not. And I have seen people of all kinds get this trance. Okay? There are some people with whom Swamiji was very angry. We all knew that. He would shout at them publicly. And those devotees would get trance. And then, of course, the other kind is there where, he was very pleased with them. He was very happy with them. Everybody knew that they are very good devotees. And those people also got trance. So it did not depend on seniority, as you yourself pointed out. I know it doesn't depend on personality, not age, nothing. Okay? So I tried to look at this. Why does he do this? Then I started observing for what all purposes Swamiji uses the trance. Different things, okay? We cannot say that trance is meant for this or trance is used for this. He can use trance for anything and everything. For example, okay, many people, many devotees will tell you that trance helps them in doing the meditation. Anybody who is doing meditation for a long time, they will confess that it is because of trance. It is because of Swamiji's blessing and the trance that Swamiji gives them, they are able to do meditation for that long. Okay. Trance helps heal people. You know, the devotee who gets the trance, he gets healed, he or she, right? And then we have seen in the ashrams that people who get trance, they can heal the other devotees. Okay, they bless Vibhuti and give them, they advise them, they tell them what to do, how to do, so that they can get rid of the problem, they get guidance. So for all these purposes, Swamiji uses trance and lots of other things, okay? He has used trance to guide devotees in running his mission after his Mahasamadhi. Okay, he would give detailed advice on what to do, what not to do, how to run the mission, how to register a trust, like this. You know, so he takes care of the administrative aspects of his mission. Every part he has given guidance. Okay, even when it comes to construction of temples, construction of buildings, through trance he has given the guidance. Okay, so I think it is for this reason. You know, any moment he may have to use any devotee through the medium of trance to do any kind of work. So that's the reason I think he says, I cannot tell you who will get trance or what kind of people will get trance or nothing like that. It is all in Swamiji's hands. Okay, each moment, each instance, he decides whom to give the trance and how to get the work done. I'll give you an example. Anybody who has read his book, his life history, will know that at Dodbalapur, there was a big trouble when people asked him to come to the ashram, and there was a huge crowd and the crowd could not be controlled. Finally, Swamiji had to give trance to the police people there. The police constables were given trance by Swamiji, and they had to beat up people and control people to finally control the crowd. Can you guess why police was given the trance? Vidya?
No,
Can
Anna, tell us.
Huh?
Tell us, I can't imagine. Maybe they needed
See,
more power. They wanted to be like Hanuman or Narsimha or something.
right? Yeah. So those are the trances he used, okay? That day, Hanuman, Kumar Swami, Ravana. Swamiji told us that he brought Ravana in trance on the policemen to control the crowd. Okay? Now, my understanding is this. I mean, see, the police constables who came there, they came to perform their duty. They were not Swamiji's devotees. They were deployed there to control the crowd by the local police authorities. And Swamiji gave trance to them. But why them? My answer is this. Had Swamiji given trance to any other devotees who were not policemen, and if they beat up the crowd, there would have been a lot of complaints later on. Those devotees would have been taken to the jail, taken to the court, saying that he bet up my. What can they do about the police? The police was doing its duty, right? The police constables were doing their duty. But people didn't know that they were doing it in trance. You understand me now? So at that moment, the right thing to do was to give trance to the police guys, not to ordinary devotees. It wouldn't have worked. It would have been against the law, and that would have created a lot of trouble for the devotees themselves and for Swamiji also, indirectly. Right? So this is how Swamiji uses trance. I'll give you another example. This happened during the Mahasamadhi of Swamiji. 28th of March, the doctors declared that Swamiji's body didn't have life. Okay? And the physical body, the holy physical body of Swamiji was brought to the Adimarapeta ashram and placed there. So all the devotees from all over the country can come and have his darshan. So a lot of people came there. A lot of devotees came there, from North India, Delhi, Agra, Dehradun. People went from Karnataka, people came from all over Andhra, people from Bombay, from all over the country, devotees came there. Now there started an argument or some sort of a tussle amongst devotees. The doctors had declared that there's no life in the body. Okay. But then we all knew that Swamiji being a yogi, he can be in samadhi. Okay. And then he had instructed us, he had told us at different times that with a yogi, if he goes into samadhi, his body will not deteriorate. The body will not decompose as long as the yogi remains in samadhi. Okay? And the yogi can come back into the body anytime. So some of the devotees who believed this, they said that Swamiji will come back to life. Okay, in the same body. So that means what? Swamiji is not dead. He's going to be alive after a few hours or after probably a couple of days or 3 days or 4 days, like that. Okay. But then there was another group of devotees who said that no, now it's useless waiting. The doctors have declared that he is dead. We have to go ahead and perform the rest of the rites and all that. We cannot just keep the body like that. There is no bad intention on their part either. They said whatever is correct, whatever is right, whatever needs to be done with the body, a lifeless body, we should go ahead and do that. So this group of devotees, the other group of devotees, started the argument saying that no, don't do anything with the body. Don't let the body be destroyed. That means don't bury the body. Don't enter the body as yet. Because he's a yogi, he will come back to life. So don't do that. Now, this had become a big argument. Okay, now, so the local devotees who were actually leading the group there, they didn't know what decision to take. Should they go ahead with the final rites or should they keep waiting? For how long should they wait? 28th Monday afternoon was when Swamiji's body was declared lifeless by the doctors. From Monday afternoon onwards, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the body was just kept like that. 4 days, okay? And slowly the argument became more and more and more heated. Now there were devotees from all over, as I explained earlier. A few of them were disciples of Swamiji who had performed tapas. A couple of them were sannyasis. Some of them used to get Swamiji's trance. Everybody knew that they get Swamiji's trance. And they were in trance there. Okay? But none of them could manage this. They could not decide or lead the devotees in taking a decision or guide them properly. Because if any one devotee tries to guide them, they will say he is biased. He is working for that group. So don't listen to him. We will not take his advice. We will do what we think is right. So another devotee, he goes into trance and he tries to say something. The other fellows will start opposing that. So this kind of trouble started there. And then we were wondering, what is going to happen next? Nobody knew how to take a decision because there was no leader appointed by Swamiji at that time, right? There was a single trustee who remained on the trust, the Bangalore trust, after Swamiji, right? So Swamiji and that person, that devotee, those were the only two trustees. Now he was the only surviving trustee, and from the trust side, he should have taken the decision. But his decision was not being honored. So there was total chaos there. I was not there, okay? I was in Bangalore. But I'm telling you from what I heard and what I knew later on, what I learned later on from the devotees there. And all of a sudden, what happened is a young girl, probably about 15, 16 years of age, who was not known to any of these devotees, she got into trance. She was from a nearby village called Vella, which is about 2 kilometers from Adivarapeta. And she had never been to the ashram. She was not a Swamiji devotee. Because this, huge crowd had gathered there and people were all coming from different places in India to take a look at Swamiji's holy body. Lot of local devotees, from the nearby villages, they also started gathering there. So this girl had come there This is the girl whose photo is being shown now. This girl had come there like those people from the nearby villages. She was not a known devotee. She was not known to be a devotee, but she was in trance. And suddenly she started guiding people. Okay, and surprisingly, everybody, irrespective of which group or what inclination they had, almost everybody, all the devotees, whether they are from Bangalore, whether they are from Adivarapeta, people who had trance, people who didn't have trance, people who were trustees, people who were leading the missions, committee members, everybody started believing that it was Swamiji who was speaking through that girl. They all went and bowed to her. They all touched her feet because they believed, it was clear to them. See, these are all the senior devotees who are sitting there. That is MP Singh, on whom he is applying the Vibhuti. He used to experience trance and Swamiji used to speak through him. But now this girl, who is totally new, probably that was the first time she got into trance, and she was applying Vibhuti to him as though she is Swamiji and he is a devotee. Okay? And you see the senior devotees also there. People who get trance, who used to get trance for several years until then. They all started believing her. They all accepted her as Swamiji. And that Swamiji on that girl in trance started guiding everybody. And he started directing how things should be settled, how they should come to a decision, and how to go ahead with the Mahasamadhi of Swamiji. Okay, ma? So this is another wonderful example of Swamiji, how Swamiji uses trance. Why did he choose that girl? An unknown girl, a strange girl who never got trance, because people believed that she was unbiased. She didn't belong to Bangalore. She didn't belong to Adivarapeta. She was not talking for somebody. See, anybody else in trance, for example, if there was a devotee from Kakinada who went into trance and talked, all the Bangalore devotees will say, oh, we know that this lady or this devotee is from Kakinada, so of course he'll talk what the Adivarapeta people want him to talk. How can we believe that it is truly Swamiji? He or she could be biased, right? So Swamiji had to give trance to this new unknown girl, unknown to the devotees, including the devotees of Adivarapeta. They also didn't know this girl. She was from a neighboring village, that's all. So she had a very important role to play all of a sudden at that moment. And through her, Swamiji directed the whole Mahasamadhi process from that point onwards. Okay, and everything ended peacefully. There was no trouble at the end, no fights or anything like that, not even arguments. Okay, everything went on very smoothly. And finally, Swamiji's holy body was interred there at Adivarapeta, at the very spot where he used to sit and give darshan on his dais. And his holy jata, which was lying there until then at Adivarapeta, that was brought to Bangalore by devotees in Swamiji's car. And that jata is what is placed in the Bangalore ashram in the Dhyan Mandir for devotees darshan. Okay, so this is how the problem was resolved. Otherwise, there were arguments that the Bangalore devotees wanted to bring Swamiji's holy body back to Bangalore because Swamiji had told them. I was also a party to that. Swamiji told us that he wanted his Mahasamadhi to be built under the Rudraksha trees. The 12 Rudraksha trees that he planted, he wanted his Mahasamadhi to be built there. So that is where we have the Shiv Mandir and the huge Shivalingam there. Swamiji expressed his desire that his holy body should be interred there. So that is what the Bangalore group was saying. No, we have to take him back to Bangalore. We have to take his body back to Bangalore because that is Swamiji's desire. So the Adivarapeta people argued, he was born here, he grew up here, he did his tapas here, this is his first ashram, and after that he went away to Bangalore, and there's no development here, nothing is happening here. And finally, if you build his samadhi also there in Bangalore, Bangalore you have such a big ashram. Swamiji has built 2 ashrams there, such a wonderful, huge building he has constructed, lot of work is going on there, there's nothing happening here in the small village. Now, if you take away his holy body also there and you create the samadhi there, nobody will come to Adivarapeta anymore. This will be lost. This will be forgotten. As it is, it's a small village. Very difficult to go there. No proper means, no proper conveyance to go there. Okay? So for that purpose, to make sure that the Adivarapeta ashram starts developing from now, we want Swamiji's Samadhi to be done here, so that all his devotees from all over the world will come here because his Samadhi is here. That is the reason we want his Samadhi here. So this was the dispute between devotees, nothing beyond that. It was not a property dispute or authority dispute or anything like that. It was, where should Swamiji's body be interred? At Adivarapeta or at Bangalore? Okay? So this could be resolved by Swamiji in trance on that girl, on that young girl. Okay? So this is another example of how Swamiji uses trance for different purposes. Radically different purposes. Okay? And I have other examples also, but we don't have time to share all of that. So I feel, it's my belief, that is the reason Swamiji cannot give you a list of criteria as to who will be given trance and who will not be given trance. Okay? There is another aspect which we discussed earlier. All of us who are doing either the bhajan or the service, we are all doing in trance, but we are not aware of that. That's all. Okay? So we cannot say with guarantee, with conviction, that nobody gets trance. There are people who don't get trance. I'm sorry. So if I claim that I never got trance, am I 100% correct? Doubtful. Okay? So that could be the case with the other devotees also. All other devotees. I'm not saying about only myself. Even the service that we are doing is done in trance by way of the power, by way of the blessing that Swamiji gives to us. Without his blessing, we will not be able to do anything. None of his mission work can go on without his blessings. Okay? So that is another way of answering your question. Okay? Hope that is clear, Ma.
Yes, Anna, wonderful. Especially the last part that you said, the musicians, even I feel that they are in trance, otherwise it's not possible. They may not be dancing around the hall, but that is also a kind of trance.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you, Anna.
Welcome, Ma.